Glad to see you back. Today's review will be the 1999 to 2004 Nickelodeon series, and this one is Rocket Power. The show was created by Arlene Klasky and Gsuppo, who also created All Grown Up, Real Monsters, The Wild Thornberries, As Told by Ginger, and of course, Rugrats. Along with Paul Germain, Rocket Power was originally aired on Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, Teen Nick, and currently streaming on Paramount+. The series revolves around the day-to-day zany hijinks of a gang of 4 young and loyal friends: the adventurous and vain sports enthusiast and perfectionist, Oswald Rocket, his tomboyish and kind-hearted older sister, Reggie Rocketado's dim-witted but loyal best friend and videographer, Morris Twister Rodriguez, and the brainy techno-whiz kid and relative newcomer, Sam Squid Day, who live in the fictional Southern California beach community of Ocean Shores, where they spend their free time playing varied extreme sports, such as skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding, biking, street hockey, etc., getting into various situations and overcoming the trials and challenges of growing up. Otto and Reggie live with their widowed, strict but loving father and veteran surfer, Raymundo Rocket, who along with his best friend and business partner, Tito McConney, owns and operates the Shore Shack, a combination burger joint and surf shop where the gang usually hang out. In most episodes, they get involved in competitions, but end up learning their friendship is more important than winning. The writing for this show is mostly alright, as even though it does have its parts that drag, the plots can get formulaic, and it is definitely a time capsule of the late 90s and early 2000s, with the characters being into extreme sports, how they dress, and using slang. There is still a bit of charm to it because of how dated it is. There are some decently funny jokes, and the plots, despite getting formulaic, are mostly alright. The humor is mostly alright, as even though there are some jokes that fall flat, there are plenty of others that do manage to get a decent laugh, such as some of the snarky comebacks and remarks, some of the gags, some of the more wacky shenanigans the characters get into, and some of the adult jokes and dark humor. The animation is very well done, like many of the other Klasky-Csupo shows, and it does have a neat art style to it, with the characters all having some pretty solid designs along with some pretty fluid and lively movements. The backgrounds and settings are well drawn, colored, and have some pretty solid details, and there are some nice effects. The characters are all pretty one-note, and they do have their bad moments, but for the most part, the main characters are fine, as they can be likable, and they do have a nice dynamic, such as the brazen Otto, the tomboyish Reggie, the oblivious Twister, the timid Squid, the tough but caring Raymundo, the philosophic Tito, and some of the side characters like Officer Shirley, Mervyn Violent, and Lars, who can be pretty hittable for the most part, but does have his good moments. But other than them, no one else is really that memorable. The voice acting is pretty solid, as the actors do manage to deliver some pretty good performances, such as Joseph Ashton as Otto, Shayna Fox as Reggie, Ulysses Quadra and Gilbert Leal as Twister, Sam Sayaletta, Gary Leroy Gray, and Sean Marquette as Squid, John Kasser as Raymundo, Remu Matai as Tito, and more. The music is pretty decent, as it is well composed and does capture the show's radical and comedic tone. Overall, while not as good as the other Klasky-Csupo shows from Nick, this is a fun time capsule of the late 90s and early 2000s, which may not be anything great, but still neat. So my verdict is 8 out of 10.